Morning, guys. Happy Wednesday. I'll just give it a few minutes for a couple more people to join, and then we'll get on with it. Hope you're all doing well. Can you hear me all right? If I could get a thumbs up in the chat, that'd be great. Thanks. Thanks, Clayton. Perfect. All right, we'll give it another minute, and then we'll get on with it. Throughout the stream, if you've got any questions, throw them in the chat. I'll try and answer them on the fly, or we can wait till the end. So I thought we'd start today on the economic calendar. It's a big week, heavy week of news this week. We've also got a fair few earnings calls this week for the big tech companies, so that'll tend to affect price as well. So let's have a look at the calendar here. So today is FOMC day, non-farm employment change, tons of news today. It's a difficult day to want to take any trades, to be fair. It's a day to consider sitting on your hands. My rule of thumb is to not take any trades until after news, which would mean that I wouldn't look to execute until after 2:30 p.m. today. And by that time, I'll be sound asleep, so I won't be taking any trades today. And then we've got unemployment claims tomorrow, and then we've got non-farm payroll on Friday. So you want to consider non-farm payroll week protocol. And if you follow what Ash does, that means you're not trading from Wednesday through to Friday of NFP week. So it's definitely something to think about. Possibly you can use the news to expedite some evals. That'd be the only sort of trading I'd be looking to do for the rest of the week. And if we have a look at the earnings as well, there's some big earnings this week: Meta, Amazon, Apple, Intel. So there's plenty of big news this week, big earnings releases as well. So these will all affect the markets in one way or another. Okay, so let's roll on to the charts. Just going to change screens here. Should be able to see my chart now. All right, we'll start with NQ. So NQ had a sweep here of this external liquidity. And we have internal liquidity resting above price here. So for NQ, it's a straightforward move to internal for me, external to internal on the daily. And if we have a look if we have a look at ES, we can also see that we have this SMT at the lows here. It's a bullish SMT, which gives us more confluence to a bullish move. Let's drop down to the hourly on NQ. So we've had a sweep of the lows here. A sweep of daily candle here. And with that, we've been left with a breaker. There's no FVG aligned, so it's not a unicorn unless I pull that up a little bit. It might just be aligned. No, they're equal. So we've got an hourly bullish breaker that's formed here. So there's a nice reversal pattern there. We also have a bullish change in the state of delivery. This is the leg that swept liquidity, and we've displaced through this level. This is our change in the state of delivery, and we've done that with displacement. This is our high resistance liquidity at the lows here. And we have low resistance liquidity at the highs. And that's what we want to see, high resistance liquidity on our side of price, low resistance liquidity on the other side of price. And then I like to use standard deviations to give me an idea where price may move to, and also to see if the deviations align with any of our liquidity levels. And we can see here that this low resistance liquidity aligns with our first deviation, a -1. And if we zoom out a little bit, we also have this area here aligned with our -2 to -2.5. Apparently there's an FVG aligned. I may need to zoom in a little bit. Oh, you're right. You're right there. It is just aligned. That Tuesday candle high is at 18999.5, and this candle, sorry, the 6 o'clock candle is at 998. So it does actually align. So yeah, that could be considered a hourly unicorn there. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Obviously, we've got all this news today, so realistically anything is possible. But looking at the current structure, I'd happily be looking for bullish moves today. Can you check MES and MNQ in the daily? They don't seem to have SMT. Yeah, sometimes you do get those differences between minis and micros. Personally, I always just look at the mini contracts. Even if I do execute on micros, I do just use the mini for my setups, and then I'll drop to micros to take the trade. If I decide that, you know, my risk is too high on the mini or something like that, I might drop down to the micros. But you will see variances between minis and micros. But I always use the minis for my analysis, my daily bias, and my market structure. All right, let's go over to ES. So like I was suggesting before, we've got this bullish SMT at the lows. So ES was unable to sweep this low, whereas NQ did. So I'd be looking for a move back into internal here. For a bullish bias on the daily. And we've almost reached that level already on ES. So I'll be watching to see if price can reach even 50% of this level, of this FVG. If we can reach that consequent encroachment. Again, it will all depend on how price reacts to news. So dropping down to the hourly. So that was the low that was unable to be swept, but we did sweep this low here on this move, or create equal lows. But bearing in mind we have that SMT, so I'd look at this as a breaker. And we do have an FVG aligned. We have a tiny one here, and then we have another one at the high of the breaker. We also have low resistance liquidity here, which has almost been swept. But we do have a whack of it over on this side here, plus this opening gap that's still yet to be filled. And if we run our projections from the low to the high here, we can see that this low resistance liquidity is aligned with our -2, between the -2 and -1. And these highs are aligned with the -2 to 2.5. So bullish overall for me on ES. So let's jump over to oil. So oil's been progressively moving lower. It's been disrespecting internal liquidity, disrespected external, but finally has found a level to support. So it had a nice reaction to this internal liquidity. It's also pushed nicely through this internal here, this SIBI, and I'd be targeting this high for our external. So I'd be bullish for my bias on CL today. Am I bullish on the day only or for the entirety of the week? Now, I only look from a day-to-day perspective. So anything I mark up, even if, you know, this ERL might seem way out of reach, you know, if there wasn't ERL here and it was this one, but we swept the internal liquidity here, I would still say that I'm bullish reaching for ERL. And if that's the closest ERL was up here, well, I'd still be saying that we're reaching for that area. Obviously, we can get market shifts in between. We might not reach that level within that daily period, but that is what my target would be, or my directional bias. So I'm using the idea of internal to external to just form a bias, and then that's all I need then to take an entry. Let's drop to the hourly. So we had a nice sweep of these lows here. And if I was looking at our formation to be something like this, then this would be my breaker here, the highest up close candle before the leg that took liquidity. So this is just one move down. So we have an hourly bullish breaker, plus we have FVGs aligned with it. This for me would also be the change in the state of delivery at this level here. I sometimes use the line chart just to give me that clearer view. It just shows that level a lot clearer than the candle sometimes. So that would be my change in the state of delivery. You can see price came down and it's respected that level at this stage. We do have low resistance liquidity through here, and all this low resistance liquidity running through here. Again, if we run the standard deviations, as I like to do, it gives us a projection. You know, these highs are a good target, aligned with a -2. Here CL looks clean, but on CLU, it's not so clean. Yeah, and look, I can't explain this, but I use the quarterly contracts for ES and NQ. But when it comes to oil and gold, I use the continuous contract. I can't explain that. That's just how I've done it and always done it. And you will find differences between the contract for oil and the continuous contract. Just make sure that in your settings, let's have a look if I can find it. If you're using the continuous contract, you need to make sure you have adjust for contract changes ticked. Okay, and that'll clean it up, and it should look very similar to CLU or whatever contract the current contract is. Okay, so bullish overall on CL. Moving to Dixie. And Dixie's had a nice move out of this internal level here. We had a fair bit of chop through here. So we're currently at a low here. Initially, my target would have been here for my external, but this is technically external. So we'll have to see how Dixie reacts to this level. If it reacts, it may just continue lower, but we need to see if it reacts to this level. This was a range through here that price was able to push through, and then it's rejected back down. So, you know, that for me, I would be neutral on Dixie today, just purely because we are at essentially we've completed that move, and for all we know, with news today, Dixie may run back up and then, you know, complete filling the remainder of this internal. So neutral on the daily. Let's go down to the hourly. Clear that up. Gee, these unicorns just keep showing up, don't they? Need to start swing trading. FVG aligned as well. This is the leg that took liquidity, so we run our projections from there. And we've nearly completed our move to the -2. This would be a region where price will either consolidate and retrace, or consolidate generally and then push through to our -4 max extension. So I'm not surprised to see this candle reacting at this level. Let's jump over to gold. Gold's been on a bit of a tear the last day or so. So gold swept this low here. And then we had this internal level sitting here, which price actually did react to initially, and then it's disrespected that. So the next level of liquidity is this high. So I'd actually be targeting that and having a bullish bias. So this trend to continue up till we reach this level. Just having a look at Ash's picture that he put in the chat here. Amazon Another unicorn. They just show up everywhere. It's literally the only strategy you need, honestly. Ash taking swing trades, love it. Love it. All right, gold on the daily, so we're saying bullish. Don't know why I've done that. There we go. Drop to the hourly. Nice bit of consolidation happening right now. There must be some news today or something. So at the low here, this would have been a breaker. We didn't get an FEG align, so it's not a unicorn. But you can see price has respected that the whole way through. Now price already swept liquidity here, and then we had a move higher. And then we've continued to move through this area. I was just trying to look for a change in the state of delivery. I was thinking of this level here, but there was no real displacement through here. There was no FVGs, which we do like to see, but you can see that at that level, price is respected as well. And then again, respecting bullish PD arrays. And if we use our high to our low here, you can see that our standard deviations align somewhat with this high. They're close to it. So with this consolidation here, it definitely feels like we're setting up for a move with news coming. It's just been chopped for the last several hours. Terrible. So maybe we'll see a move push down into this bullish FEG before continuing higher. You know, looking at it from a possible AMD, if this was your range, your accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Why are we marking unis on the 1 hour time frame? No, I don't use them for execution, but I use them for confluence. And it gives me the direction of the market. So unicorns are essentially the reversal in the market. So if you were to look at it as in, if we say this is a unicorn here, it doesn't have a FEG, but let's just use it as an example. So this would be, say, the sell side of your curve, you get the reversal, and then this is your buy side of the curve. So that's how I look at it. And then you'll get your continuation unicorns on the right side of the chart. So you've got your reversal, and then you'll have your continuation unicorns on the right side of the chart. So when you go to the lower time frame, the same thing applies. It's no different. What the unicorn on the hourly gives me confidence in being able to take continuation unicorns. I hope that helps YM Crypto. What else have we got for some questions? Which instrument can you look for? S&T with gold. The trader Zeke has answered silver. That's correct. And same with oil. You can use UK oil to look for your SMTs. Let's have a look at a euro. Okay, so euro swept external liquidity here. We have internal resting right here, which it's pushed into. So that's objective met, objective complete. So then I'll be then moving or shifting my focus to look for a move to external. If this gets disrespected, then we would look for these equal highs in this case. Can you tell? Can we trade today after FOMC? Look, honestly, you can trade if you like after FOMC. That's completely up to the individual. Personally, I just sit on my hands unless I was trying to expedite an eval for the next couple of days. Any other questions, guys, you want to throw in the chat before I start wrapping this up? For any of you who haven't looked into joining Premium or what is getting rebranded to Unicorn University, some exciting things are happening there. I highly recommend looking into that. Jump onto Ash's Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it these days. He's running a competition for a free 1 month membership. So jump on there and retweet, tag your friends, follow the entry rules, and you'll have a chance to join. And once you're in there, I guarantee you'll stay. Frank, you must have missed the start of this. That's cool. My bias for NQ is bullish today. Let's go back there quickly. Let's clear that up. That's cool, Frank. All good, buddy. So we swept external liquidity here. We have internal resting above us. We also have a bullish SMT at the lows. So where NQ swept this low, ES did not. ES fell short. So I'm looking for a bullish move today. Can I explain the eval expedition process? I can. So essentially what you're looking to do is what's called a one shot, one kill. There's a number of different ways you can approach doing that. You can have a couple of evaluations and you can set orders to buy above price and to sell below price. And then it's just a 50-50 game on what happens. There's actually a fella in the premium, Kim Vesco. He's got an awesome video on how he expedites evals on his YouTube. Let me just quickly see if I can find that, and I'll throw it in the chat. Give me 2 seconds. What I'll do is I'll find it and I'll throw it in general chat after we wrap this video up, this stream rather. Any more questions, guys? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up. We'll let you guys get ready and prep for the morning. Make sure to give me a follow, guys. I've got a YouTube and Twitter. You can check out my channel in the Discord, and you'll see where my daily information goes. I post my bias daily, and any videos that I do go up in there as well. All right, guys, I'm going to call it there. Thank you very much for joining and participating. I appreciate you all. Am I going to trade today as FOMC? No, I won't be trading today, Jay. Thank you, guys. Take care. See you next week.